Hello and welcome to Cloud Launching Learning Marathon. On this presentation, we talk about code baseline using Azure DevOps. My name is Carlos dos Santos. I'm a CIO from CDS Software in Brazil. I'm a Microsoft MVP, Regional Director, and DevOps API Design and Software Architect Consultant. I have some open source projects. I have a blog, and I have a GitHub repos from my open source project and many samples of software development. Feel free to touch me in social networks. Okay, what is a code baseline? Baseline, it's a code division. Many versions of code into the same place, but separated. It's a way to organize your code. These divisions are named branches. We can separate your code in many branches according of your company, of your scenarios. Branches are an old concept, but very useful today. This is a very common sample of branches or code baselines that the name is Gitflow. But for some teams it's very complex. But on this code organization, we have a master branch, we have a hotfix, we have a developer branch, release branch, and feature branch. That are many lines of your code with different versions maybe and on different timeline. And I have a simplified version of Gitflow with less branches for starting teams that not starting teams, but teams that is starting with this organization, because it's very common. Teams work at the same line of code. Everybody works at the same code, and when we introduce this approach of code, a baseline code, we separate at least 3 branches or 2 branches. I have the master branch or the main branch, I have a hotfix, and I have a developer and release. I will explain many about these branches. And then about branches. Branches are a logical division of code, like directories, but invisible. What do you mean about invisible? Because I don't have directories for each branch, but I have a logical organization of these branches like a directories. For example, I have a master, I have a developer, I have a hotfix. Branches or version of this code at the same place. And these branches allow us to separate our code using many approaches, for example. And based on Gitflow, we have these branches. Master or man, it's a production code. Okay, this is a code that you put in or publish it to production environment. If you have a bug, for example, inside your environment, you can create another branch. The name is hotfix or bug, if you prefer. It's a code from master, for example, to fix a bug and put it again to master. We have a release branch. Release branch is a code candidate to be published. For example, I have a develop baseline working. Develop, it's a developer code. It's our daily code when it's a place where developers code daily. Okay, and I can pick up a version of this code and put into release. It's a code candidate to a production, for example, and I freeze this code into this release, and I can make tests or quality assurance, and if this code is okay, I can publish it to master, for example. Okay, and for another approach for code baseline, I can use feature branches. Feature branches I prefer to use when I need to create a big change in code. For example, I will implement a new feature and I will spend much time on this feature, and I don't need to freeze developer. For example, I can't freeze developer branch to wait for my feature, because of this I create another branch, and it's a feature branch. For example, feature for a new something inside my application, and I develop this code and put inside the develop again. I will show the Git flow. The Git flow, it's a complete Git flow. For example, I have here the master branch. Master branch is my production environment. Okay, if you have a bug, you can pick up a code from your baseline. It's a timeline. Okay, I have here versions or datas or date. It's a timeline, and I have a bug here. For example, I can pick up code from this point and create a hotfix code. Why I do this? Because if I pick up my code from development baseline, it's a new code. I have many other things ahead of this point. And if I pick up this code and put here inside production, maybe I can create bugs, another bugs. And then I pick up code from here and create a hotfix and fix my bug, for example, and send again to production. And then I can produce a little modification inside code, okay? And I send this code to developer too, because I needed to update every branch that I'm working, okay? And that's it. And in a development approach for development teams, developers are working here inside this branch, is a developer branch or develop branch. And at this moment, for example, I pick up code and create a release branch, and in release branch I can make tests or quality assurance or stress tests or every test that you need to certify this code to production. And after this, you send this code to production. And if you prefer to work using feature branch, for example, I create a feature branch from development, for example, work on my feature or many features, and after I finish this feature, I can send to developer again, and this continue. This line continue. Okay, this is a code baseline. It's many divisions of the same code, and at the first moment, maybe every code is equal, and you have after this many different timelines of code. Okay, but I need all of these branches? No, you don't need all of them. You don't need every branch described in Git flow, like I talked before: master, hotfix, developer, release, feature, Q&A, and many other branches. But you need at least two branches: master or man, and develop, because you cannot change same code that's running in production. Why I mentioned before, if you change your production code using only one baseline, it's dangerous, because after fix your bug, you send new code to production, not only bug fix, okay? And if you do this, you are pushing bugs, probably, to production. And create a developer branch to developers to work daily job for developers in a develop branch. And how can I update in branches? How can I update? I have many branches: the master, release, I have develop. I need to update these branches at the same point of time, I can use pull requests. Pull requests, it's a way to update one branch using another branch. And I have a developer branch and I need to update the release branch, for example, or master branch. I create a pull request. Pull request is very interesting because I can compare code. I can check what tasks I can do or are done for this release, for example. And I can create some policies, for example, code review. I love this feature, code review, because when a developer creates a pull request, I can see every code that was changing. And for example, if I have a question for a developer, I can create a comment inside code. This is a code review. I can create a policy based on tasks. For example, every commit needed tasks or comments or build validation, for example. I can accept your pull request if ever tests or ever build, it's okay. And you need to block commits to master, for example, or release or Q&A branches, because this is a production or production candidate to production, okay? And I need to block commits directly to these branches. Allow only pull request to update these branches. If you need to change a little code, I need to change only a little code in master. It's small code. No. Create a branch from this branch and send a pull request. Okay? It's a rule for your team. Do not break these rules. Okay? And if I have many branches, I need maybe to have many environments. I need to create one environment for each branch. If I have master or main branch, okay, of course I have production environment. If I have a develop branch, maybe I need to create a develop environment. It's very good and very useful. You separate your environments. I have a production environment, I have a test or develop environment, I have a release environment. And when I need to test something in a similar environment, it's a similar environment for example, like production, I can create a copy of this environment maybe and put my code to test there. Okay? And then each code is deployed to your own environment. And then I put my master code to production, I put my develop code to develop environment, I can put my release code to release environment. And for do this, you can use, for example, app services with slots. I will create a demo based on this. I can use containers, I can use Kubernetes. Using namespaces in Kubernetes, we can create main environment, for example. You can create virtual machines or you can replicate your environments. We have many approaches to create separate environments, okay? If you do this, if you separate environments, you can reduce bugs and problems. No more changes in productions using code that was not tested or reviewed. Okay, Carlos, but we don't have unit tests here. Okay, if you don't have unit tests, create a functional test, for example, or create a review process for your code. And if you can, create unit tests. Okay. Okay. I will show Azure DevOps using this approach now in a demonstration, in a demo. Okay. Okay, I have here my Azure DevOps environment. You can create your Azure DevOps free. You can create a free account, access this website dev.azure.com. You can create and use it. It's free for 5 users. It's very interesting tool. It's very powerful tool. Okay, and I have here a sample project, and I have repos here. Repos is my code base repository, the place where I can put my code. Okay, I can create many repos from project. For example, if you have a big solution and you have a web solution and client and mobile, for example, you can create one repo for each solution. I prefer separate this in some scenarios because I need to get less code for my environment. Okay, I separate environments, and if you have developers that use mobile only, you can clone only this repo, and the same for web and the same for clients and everything you need. Okay, on this sample I have only one repo. It's a sample repo. Okay, I don't have anything here. It's an empty repo, only a git ignore. Okay, it's a git ignore based on Visual Studio solution. Okay, and the full readme, I can't change this. Okay, I will clone this repo. Okay, clone here, copy here, and I have here nothing here. Okay, git clone and copy here. If you prefer clone using Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio, it's okay. In some case I prefer using command line. And I have here a sample project. I don't have anything here. I will create another directory. Here is source. Oops, it's source. Okay, and inside this I will create a new solution and web solution using .NET. On this machine I have .NET 5, but you can use this for any languages, for Java, for PHP, for Ruby, for other versions of .NET, for example. Okay, and I have here a simple project. I have here my Visual Studio Code open. Okay, and this is a simple project from .NET 5. I will show here the CS project. Okay, it's a .NET 5, and I have startup here, and on this startup I don't have controllers. It's a simple approach from a web application. Okay, and when I run this application I can see hello world on my screen. Okay, I will run this application and it's very pretty simple. Okay, I will click here, and in another screen I have here hello world. Okay, it's only this. Okay, I will comment this code. At the first time I will send this code to my repo. I have here the main branch. Okay, I will go to another directory, and I will go git adding, git commenting, initial. Okay, and git push. Okay, I create a simple code here and push to my git repo. Okay, and I return it to my repo here and press F5, and I have here the source and I have startup. Oh, it's okay. It's very simple and easy. Okay, now I will create another branch. Git checkout /b and develop. And now I have develop branch, and inside this branch I will change my code and put here, oops, oh, not here, sorry, it's here. And inside this branch, hello world from developers. Okay, and I have developer change here, and I will send this to initial from developers and git push, and I need to set my upstream here. I can copy here this and okay, now I have two branches. I have the main branch and I have developer branch. I go again to DevOps, and I will show here my branch, and I have developer branch and the main branch. Okay, it's the same, but inside the main branch, if I open the startup, I have hello world, and if I open develop, I have hello world from developers. It's simple. Okay, I have two branches here, and now I will configure my repo environment, putting some policies, for example, and inside my main branch I can change some things. I can change the developer branch to the full from compare. When I change this and the full to compare, when I change this information, this is my default branch when I clone my repo from Azure DevOps, okay? And every branch that I create after this is compared with this branch. For example, this is the similar branch, okay? And I don't have difference between this branch for now. And when I change some things inside man or inside another branch, this is the full comparison, okay? Every branch will compare with this. Okay, and I will change another thing inside man. I will put another policy here. For example, I mentioned before that you cannot change the main branch directly, but for example, create a commit inside this. But if I change git checkout master or main, sorry, I'm in a main branch, okay, it's again on main. I will change something here, change in main. And if I create another commit here, for example, I can use the Visual Studio Code 2, okay? I can click here and change in main and create here and send a push. It's okay. But okay, okay, Carlos, you mentioned before that I needed to block this. How can I do this? It's simple. Now I can change, okay? If I check here my files inside a main branch, I can see this change. Okay, change in main. But when I go to my branch and click on main and put some policies, I have here branch policies. I will turn on this policy. It's a require minimum number of reviewers. I can change it to 1, and I have many other things. For example, allow requesters to approve their own change. For example, if I send a commit to man, for example, this is approved automatically, but I can configure the prohibit the most recent pusher, allow completion. When you change that push, I can turn on the comments. For example, I need that every comment inside my branch needed to have a comment, for example, or a task, or I need to create a build validation. I can create a build specific for this, for example, and click and configure here, or many status checks, or I can include a specific reviewer for brands. For example, I have a developer or a code reviewer inside in my team, and I put this person here. Okay, I will turn on only this branch. I don't need to save this, and I can change the same. I will remove this now and save, and the same. Okay, I will click here, remove, change, for example, and create a commit. It's okay, but I will push. and I can't push for now. Why I can't push? Because I have a policy now, and a policy is push to this branch are not permitted. You must use a pull request to update this branch. Okay, and now I have a branch that is blocked for updates directly. I need to create a pull request to change this. Okay, and for example, I will change again here to develop, and I have here hello world from developers. For example, I can go to my repos here. I will create a pull request here. Okay, and DevOps detects that I have updated here. I can create a new pull request from this. For example, from develop to man. And when DevOps create this pull request, I can see what is changed. For example, now I have this hello world, and after merge I have this. I have only one file changed and only one commit changed. And I will create this, and I click here. If you have tasks, for example, when you create a commit, you put the number of tasks inside the Azure boards here. These tasks appear here too. Okay, I will create this commit. Okay, oh, I have a merge conflict here. I will solve this. I can because I try to create a commit inside the man. Okay, I will change this because I have a conflict. Okay, if I have a conflict, what I can do? I can click on conflicts and solve this here. This is an extension for DevOps. I can install this extension using the marketplace. I will open here, browse marketplace, and you can put this extension. Is a very useful extension, conflict merge conflict. You can install this extension, pull request merge conflict extension, and you can get free and install inside your environment. I can see this extension, the conflict, and I have here a change at this point. Okay, and I have here and here, and I can take some actions here. Keep the right, keep the left. I will keep the left. Okay, and okay here, and I solve a conflict and approve and set out complete, and okay, complete, and I have a merge. Okay, and I don't have conflicts here, but I need approver here because I create a pull request to master, and master need some people to approve. Remember that when I click here, I have a branch policy here, and on this policy I click here, and for example, I can click here and allow requesters to approve. I'm a requester at this time for now. Okay, and I will change this because I'm alone here, and I return it to pull requests. Okay, and reviewer approved. Okay, because I'm a reviewer and I click that I can approve my own merge. Okay, okay, and cancel here and complete here. Okay, complete merge, and merge is done. Okay, and I don't have merge here. Okay, it's updated. I can check my codes, and the main code has here from developers at the same of my develop code. Okay, it's okay. I have two branches that I updated separate. Okay, it's okay. It's a code baseline, but I need to create environments to publish this code separately. Okay, and to do this I need to create a build process here. I will go to pipelines, and I will create a build. I will use this classic editor because it's faster. Okay, and I will choose my repo. I have only repo here. For example, if I have another repos, I can select here. I can click continue, for example, and I will choose the core because it's an ASP.NET Core application. And the Azure DevOps create for me a build process here. It's a simple process. It's the command line to create an build and binaries. And here binaries are named artifacts, okay? And I restore, build, test if I have test here, and I publish. It's publishes is a publish command, .NET publish, and the publish artifacts get these published files. It's a binary files, for example, or another files that I have inside my solution, and put inside the Azure pipelines. Okay, I change this to web site build. It's the name. I can save and kill. I run. Okay, and while this build is running, I return it to build configuration and change one information on trigger. I will enable continuous integration. Continuous integrations means that when you send a code, a new commit for repo, a new push, this build is triggered, is started, okay? And you can select what branch affect this build. For example, I have a build for developer branch, and I have a build for release branch that I can run some code quality, for example, SonarQube, and I have a build for production environment, or I have the same build for every environment. It's my case here. I will add man, and when I push a new code to develop or man, this build is started. Okay, I will save here, save, okay, for next commit. And when I click here, I see that build is finished. I will click here inside build. It's okay. Every steps is done. And I have here an artifact. It's a zip file. Okay, I have zip file is the name of solution. My solution is a wrong name here. It's search solution. Okay, because it's searched here. And when I use this, I have here binaries to publish my solution. Okay, but I will publish this using app services, Azure App Service. I have here my Azure environment. If you don't use Azure, you can create a free account and use app service, for example. I will create a new app services. Okay. And I will select eventos and code base line sample. I can choose many things here, but I will select code here, and I select Net5 Linux environment because it's a .NET Core. Okay, and I keep another configurations the same. Okay, I have this name here. It's important. I will create this. And I have here a web application that using a Linux environment, but it's a platform as a service. I don't have access to machine that run this code. Okay, I will put my code inside this environment and Azure run for me. Okay, if you use container environment, for example, you can put your container in Azure Container Services or container registry and run from app services too. Okay, and okay, I have my application here, and Azure App Services have a deployment slots. I can create many versions of application here. I have a production application, and I will create another one. It's develop environment. I can clone my settings, for example, from this code baseline, but I don't have settings here. I will create, and now I have two applications at the same place, and I can test my application using this environment. Okay, if you have a complex environment, you can create another installation, but slots, it's a good approach to separate environments if you have a web application running on Azure. Okay, now I have two applications. I have this application that name is code baseline sample. I can run, and I click here on deployment slots and click on develop. I have another configuration here, configurations and everything you need to run this application. Then I have another name. It's the same name of application dot develop, or develop is the name of my slot. I have a dash here. Okay, not dot, dash, sorry. And I click here, and I have the same because I don't have anything inside here. I will create a deployment now, and I have the production environment and I have develop environment. Okay, returning to my Azure DevOps environment, I have here repos with the same code now because I create a pull request. Okay, hello from developers in man, and hello from developers in develop. And I have a build too, and I have a pipeline here. That's okay. And now I will create a release environment, a release pipeline. Okay, I will create a new pipeline. And this pipeline, on this pipeline, I can deploy my application in many different environments. Okay, I have a big list here, and you can install many things using the marketplace. But for now, I will use this Azure App Service deployment. Okay, I will apply here, and this first stage is develop. Is develop environment. Okay, I will click here, and I have develop. And before create this configuration, I need to put here my artifact. It's a build artifact. Okay, I will click here and select my build. Maybe you have many builds. I have only one, and I will click add here, and I will click continuous deployment trigger. Okay, and I can do nothing here, only the continuous deployment. Continuous deployment means that when I start a new build and this build is finished, the release start based on this build. Okay, and I will configure here because I needed to deploy this solution to these environments, to production and to develop. And here I will click inside the job, and I will connect my Azure DevOps to my Azure subscription. Okay, I have many subscription here. For example, I will click inside the different subscription. If you click inside one subscription and you see this button authorize, you need to click here and put your login or password to allow the Azure DevOps connect to Azure environment. I have here a subscription that is configured. Okay, and I will choose here web app. For example, I have a function app, I have API, mobile app. I have, on my case, web app for Linux, and I have an app service name that is the code baseline sample. Is the same here. Okay, the same name here of my Azure app services. Okay, and I will run this agent running Windows, for example. And here inside the deployment Azure app services, I need to click here in deployment. I choose my resource group, it's Eventos, and I choose slot develop. Okay, it's simple. It's pretty simple. I create a pipeline here. It's a develop pipeline, and inside my task I connect my deployment environment to Azure and choose a slot deployment and select the develop slot. Okay, is it? And now I will create another slot. Here I have two approaches. Okay, I can create here, click on add, and I have another one here. I will click here, and I can create another stage here. For example, I put my code inside development environment. I can create something like approval. For example, click here and select some people to approve this, and after this approve, I go to next stage. For example, this stage is, for example, production. Okay, production. It's on one approach. I follow this line, okay, and I can have main environments here. But I can do this if I have the same artifact here, for example, okay. But if you have another artifact or you need to change something inside the build, maybe you can create a separate approach. For example, I prefer to create a release pipeline based on branches, and because of this I will change here, and instead after stage I will choose after release, and I have two stages now in parallel. When this build finish, I start this or this. I will configure this first. It's the same, okay. I choose the same subscription here. I can select the app service name is the same. Oh, not Windows, it's Linux. And the application here is the same. Oh, I need to refresh this. The code base line. And here I need to choose nothing because it's a production. I can't click here because I don't need to select production slot, okay. I only uncheck this is default, okay. And then I have two stages. I have develop and I have production. And when I trigger this and when I trigger this, I click here and I have a artifact filter. I will click here and select branch. For this stage it's a develop branch here, and for this stage is the same. I will click here and put a build, and stage is man. Okay, it's simple. I select the branch develop here and I select branch master or man here. Okay, it's okay, it's finished. I will save this and I will test, okay. And I will change something inside my developer code in Visual Studio Code, okay. I have here the man branch. I change it to develop branch. It's the same here, okay. I will change something like using CI/CD, okay. I save this and comment CI/CD here and come to this code and push this code. Okay, and the code is pushed to Azure. And if I check my pipeline, I have a new build started here. It's waiting for the agent build, okay. And after this build finish, I see another release pipeline here. Before this I will change this name. It's the full name here. Website publish. Save. Okay, and I have my build starting here. Okay, I will click here to see my build steps and agent job. And I have the build process here. It's a simple solution. It's a faster build. Okay, it's finished, and artifact published. And now I have a release that will start here. After build, okay, build's okay. And now I have a release started inside my develop environment, okay? And if I click here, I can see a queued publish here, not here, because I configured this stage to look only for develop branch. It's one approach, okay? You can create many approaches using Azure DevOps. And after this, the develop deployment finish, I can see here my hello from developer, okay? And the finishing, if you click here, you can see what's happened inside the deployment. I can see here it's a zip downloaded inside my app services and unzip to update my website. And then I have a complete process from code baseline. I have only two baselines. It's a simple baseline, but you can create the test baseline, the release baseline, and many baselines that you need. Okay, this release finish, I can restart here, refresh, and hello from developers. Okay, and here I don't have anything, but I can't change my main branch because I have a policy here, and then I need to create a pull request. And I go to my Azure DevOps, and I will create a pull request from developer to man. And I will select here develop, and I select here main, and I have only one comment. Okay, it's this comment, and only one change, and I have the same here, and I will create here, and I create a pull request and approve and complete and complete. Okay, oh, I have a reviewer. I change again my branch policies, and I have branches here, and I click on man, and I click branch policies, and I click here that I can approve my own branch. Okay, and approve, cancel, and complete. Okay, and reviewer approved. Okay, it's a demonstration. You need to create and put the correct people here. Okay, and now I have another build running, and if I click here inside my build, it's another build running, but from man. I have develop, and now I have a man because I changed my code inside man. Okay, and after this build finish, I can see my website updated here, and the publishing, and it's done, and my build is done, and I have another release here, release 2 in a production environment now. Okay, it's queued 2, waiting for the Azure agent, and after the agent start, I can see yes, it started here, and I can see the same of this here because it's the same code. Okay, and updating, it's automatically. I only change my code and push my code to Azure repos, and because of I have continuous development and continuous integration, I can see this running automatically. Okay, but if you prefer, you can disable continuous integration and continuous delivery and start build manually if you prefer. Okay, and I have my release running, and I have my release is starting, and I have another great benefit. I will change only one. I have production here, and I have here refresh. I have the same, and to finish this demo I will change develop code again. It's the same here using CI/CD. using CI/CD. Okay, I remove this inside my develop branch. Okay, and I put remove CI, and I send remove CI to my repo. Okay, oops, I need to save file, and I send here, and I will push. Okay, now I have another code send it to my repo and starting a build, and when I return here, another build starting from develop. Okay, it's the same process here. I will repeat the process to show another great feature from release pipeline. Okay, for example, I can send a new code to my production environment and I have a problem. Oh, it's wrong code, I have a bug, I need to return it to the previous version. How can I do this? If you are using Azure, you can do this using Azure, but I can do this using Azure pipelines. Okay, I have another release here. Okay, and I will change my developer environment. Remember that I have this inside my developer environment using CI/CD, and now I change it to remove CI. Okay, and this code was killed here, and is starting to publish. And okay, this code is changed to remove CI, but I needed to return it to this point. Okay, this saved my life sometimes when I have a wrong code in my production environment. Okay, oh, but you have tests, you have process. Okay, but this situation happens. Okay, and I needed to return my code. And finish this. I can see I will close this because I looking only for develop environment. And okay, it's finished. I will refresh this and remove CI. Okay, it's perfect. But if you click here inside release and I click inside this another develop here, I can click on redeploy, and when I click on redeploy, Azure DevOps deploy this artifact, this version of my code to my environment. Okay, and after this finish, I can see the previous version of code here. It's very good when you have a problem inside your environment and you need to return it to previous version. Okay, and to do this, you need to create a great baseline for your projects. Remember, you have only main or master branch. You need to create, develop, release, and hotfix, and at least master or main and develop. Okay, and I have here complete, and when I using CI/CD. Okay, and is it. Thank you for watching this presentation, and feel free to touch me in my social networks. Bye and enjoy this event.